Is there a loophole in the law, or is there a loophole in your understanding of the law, which a high-priced lawyer exploits? Right? Like, what is exploitation if you are not exploited? So now, Trump got his taxes, right? And then he's trying to tell you that because he's Trump, that when he buys something, it's automatically worth more because of who he is. Now, what I'm saying is, well, what is the value of everybody's constitutional rights? Do your constitutional rights lose value depending on the value of the person who violate your constitutional rights? So think about this, right? So if a wealthy person got rights because they were wealthy, then what is the value of the rights of the poor Americans, right? But according to the law, we all have our right to our pursuit of happiness. So therefore, our value, or what we value, is different. See, if you are a person who values freedom, then you may not even want to get a job because you don't want to be responsible for being somewhere at some particular time. But now, nowadays, if you able to communicate or whatever, now you can make money off of YouTube or any of these platforms. So now your abilities to entertain or whatever is now able to market it, right? But if you are only valuable in an entertaining setting, then that's why I'm saying you're more like Cain and less like Abel, because Abel, like I said, he gave an offering that came from the earth. So therefore, he gave something that was nourishment for the body. Well, if you are an entertainer, then you are nourishment for the mind. See what I'm saying? Because, people, if you are an entertainer, some people take pain away. Some people go to a comedy show to escape their problems and laugh. You see what I'm saying? So all these type of professions are medicine, they're therapy, right? Singing, all of those things, right? But what is the nourishment for the body? See, the mind and the body is two different things. That's why it says you must edify the mind, body, and spirit, right? So if you don't feed your mind, then how can you feed your body if your mind's starving, right? So even a person who has lost their mind can still feed their body, right? But a person who lose their body, their mind is also dead, right? See, so the body is what totes the mind to and fro the earth, right? So if the body is incapacitated, then the mind is stalled. See, that's what's happening to me now, right? You all have put me in your understanding, and now you have put a lock on my body because you can't understand my mind. So now I can't move until you move, right? So now back to the Donald Trump situation, right? See, what Donald Trump's saying is, because he's a corporation, he was able to write off certain things as losses, right? But that is saying that if I pay you $50 an hour, then that is compensation that I'm paying you. Plus, if I pay for your insurance and all of that, see, now I can write that off because that's a benefit to America. Because in that $50,000 that I paid you, or $50 an hour, or however, then you had to pay taxes on that, and that taxes is what we use to then send kids to pre-K. You know what I mean? Like all of these things that your government is supposed to provide for you. See, when rich people find loopholes in your understanding of the law, then they robbed the coffers. They robbed the tax bill, right? So now, here you are as a citizen, you can't claim losses like Donald Trump did, see? And that's the fraud, right? Because what they saying is you're not a corporation. So what I did is I became a peer, see? And when I used that same method to write off my losses, then the United States of America, through its tax collection agency, which is called the United States Internal Revenue Service, then denied me of access to the courts to prove my case. See, like, what people don't understand is when the IRS sue you, they leave themselves open to be sued. But because you don't see yourself as an American, you see yourself as property of America, then you don't see the opportunity given to you in Amendment 14, Section 4, because you don't know what Amendment 14, Section 4 says. So if you don't know what the law says, how can you benefit from the law if you don't know what the law says? That's why they say ignorance of the law is no excuse. So what Trump did was, like I say, he say if he bought a house in a poor community, just like he did in New York, then what he's saying is that building now that he probably bought for $50,000, we just saying, or say a $5 million, right? Well, now he's saying that because he bought the building, renovated the building, now the building is worth $100 million. Well, but then he's saying that it's losses. See, he's not saying that he appreciated the building, right? Now then he would have to pay taxes on, from that, to say if it's $100 million, he'll have to pay taxes on $95 million because he increased the value of his property. But he didn't do that. See, what he do is he depreciate the value when it benefits him, which then takes tax dollars from the poor. See, so that's why it's called tax fraud. So don't get caught up in the fact that he give you jobs and all that. You got to look at how he able to pay you. He whooping the majority of the people just to pay the few people that work for him. So what I'm doing is I'm writing off my time so I can then pay the rest of us that the rich people like Donald Trump don't want to pay. Because see, they not offering freedom, they offering a job. See, I'm saying that my job is to stay free. So my opportunity that I'm giving you is not a job, it's an opportunity to stay free.